Welcome back. Hi, I'm Mrs. Allen. I'm your music teacher this year. Here's the sequence of what will happen when you come to music class. You will stand at least 3 feet apart in line with your class on the sidewalk outside my room on the green line. Walking quietly with no conversations between friends. No questions should be asked when entering the room. You should go straight to your assigned seat. I will give everyone some hand sanitizer at their seat. Show me you are ready to learn by having your eyes on me in front of the room. We will begin class. I am going to wear a mask every day, and I would encourage you to do the same. I still have the same music sanitation station from last year, and I'm pretty sure everybody remembers how to use it correctly. Pay attention to what the sign says. An item that is in quarantine cannot be used by anyone until 3 days have passed. So for example, if Miss Greco's class uses some pencils from my classroom before leaving, they need to be placed in this bin and they can't be used for anyone for 3 days. I still want everybody to practice social distancing. I still feel like this is something really important that we need to practice. So let's all be aware of our personal space when standing outside or standing in line. I will give everyone hand sanitizer in the beginning, and then we'll talk about jobs later on. Always bring your Chromebook, earbuds, or headphones to music class. If you don't have your own earbuds or headphones, I've had some friends and family donate headphones to help our class that you can borrow for the class period but not to keep. Here's the sequence of what will happen when it's time to leave music class. You will remain seated until I call your row to come line up. If you had to borrow a pencil from me, you will need to place it in the quarantine container. If you used a clipboard in my classroom, you will need to place it in the to be cleaned crate on the table. You must remain seated until your row is called. You will walk outside onto the sidewalk and stand on one of the green gaiters that are spaced apart. If you're a classroom helper, you must first get some more hand sanitizer, pick up the items that you've been assigned to, and then use more hand sanitizer before leaving the room. If you ask for a job that wasn't given to you, you will not be allowed to have a job for the remainder of that week. When your number is called, if you borrowed a pencil, you'll place it in the quarantine bin. Clipboards that are borrowed go into the needs cleaning bin. When standing outside and waiting for your teacher, please stand in line quietly. Get into the habit of turning the sink on and off with a paper towel. This year, instead of using the G3 way, Mrs. Wright and Mrs. Lawson have developed something called Gator Pride. Do your best to follow our school's norms to show your Gator Pride, and do your best to follow our music classroom norms to show your Gator Pride. What is a norm? According to the dictionary, a norm is something that is usual, typical, or standard. Learning goal for this week. We are going to practice what it means to have self-control for all the different things that we do in the music classroom. How do we line up with self-control? How do we notify the teacher that we need to use the restroom with self-control? How do we notify the teacher that we need to get a tissue with self-control? How do we act when another student is arguing with the teacher and not following directions? These are all topics that we'll discuss in class and have a plan for. Here are some other music norms that we will practice in our classroom. If I have a music job for the day, how do I show self-control while performing that job? If I don't have a music job for the day, how do I show self-control? Should I be doing something else? Should I be listening to what the teacher says to do? How do I let the teacher know that I'm having a really bad day? How do I let the teacher know that I'm feeling really stressed out? Again, these are all topics that we'll discuss and have a plan for. Mrs. Allen's music norms are as follows. M. Maintain self-control. U. Utilize your time in music class. S. Stay in your seat. I. Intentional kindness towards Mrs. Allen, other classmates, and our music materials. C. Concentrate on the task. Consequences for poor choices. I will give you a warning, and the second time I have to speak to you, we'll call your parents together in class. After you get 3 behavior notes for poor behavior or choices, I will write an incident referral. Music class rewards. We will continue to do the competition between rows. However, we're going to do a little differently this year. Whichever row has the most music notes at the end of the week will get to pick some treasure from the music treasure box. Pride points in music class. Mrs. Allen will be using Class Dojo this year to keep track of each student's pride points in music. Once you've earned 200 pride points, you get to choose your prize. 200 Pride Point prize choices. You could pick 3 treasures from the treasure box, have lunch with Mrs. Allen, be king or queen of the day during music class, or pick something from the candy treasure chest.